Sad our state by nature is, our sin, how deep it stains. And Satan binds our captive minds, fast in his slavish chains.
The title of this video, turn it around here, Mercy Scrolls, The Holiness of God. Got it out of the chapter, The Trauma of Holiness. But in particular, the next chapter, which was about Luther, I believe, and the story about lightning came to mind. But there are a lot of saints throughout history that have experiences with nature. I'm currently here in my hotel room in West Virginia. Got up here in a day, but on the drive up here had a bit of an experience. I am a wimpy Floridian. Being, I like my flat land, beaches, don't care for the humidity, but, grew up in Florida. But on the way up here, everything was going really smooth. It was about a 12-hour drive on the way up here, and I was going really well until I hit, I think it was North Carolina. And while there were hills, suddenly I hit mountains. And it wasn't just small ones. There was a couple of situations where you go through the tunnel through the mountain, and I'm just looking up in awe, terrified, because I look down, there's hardly anything there. And I look up, and all as I see is a huge mountain. I didn't drive too bad through it. I got sick because I got tired of it because it was nothing but this. Over and over and over for about 3.5 hours, nothing but turns. I just got really tired of it. Just tedious, boring driving, and kind of got sick. But the point, seeing mountains like that, seeing something so transcendent, brings fear. A friend of mine said last night when I was talking to him, he grew up around mountains, and even some mountains that he drove through, made him fearful. Well, I'm Floridian and not used to mountains, and was terrified at times because they were so big and there was nothing there. Road collapses or something, I don't know. And just your mind wanders. But that did bring up another point to me. What about the one who created it? Creates it just by speaking it into existence. And I'm terrified of the creation. So often far more than I am the creator. The creation makes my knees knock together more than the creator does. That's a heart problem. But how many more of us are the exact same way? We get terrified of so many things, but we're never really terrified of God. Everything else terrifies us, but not Him. Sure, we're scared a little bit. And sure, sometimes when it's about self-preservation, we get scared. But are we like John in Revelation? Do we fall flat on our knees, absolutely terrified? Something to think about as I was driving through the mountains. See a bolt of lightning. I look down as I was driving and see nothing but at times clouds. One of the mountains we went through, it was in the clouds. So high up, ears popping and everything, and I'm not used to that. But how often are we God doesn't come into play. We sin, we do so many things for ourselves. We're not scared, even though God's right there. In His omnipresence and His omniscience, He's right there seeing everything, and we're not scared at all. Quite often He doesn't even enter our minds. It's a heart problem. It's a sin problem. I see a mountain and I'm scared. But I should be far more scared of the one who created it, the one who holds me, my existence in his hand, the one who allows me to breathe, provides food, the one who can end me in a second by just speaking it. Him we should be fearful. The trauma of holiness. Like Isaiah. That had to be terrifying, what Isaiah saw. What John experienced in Revelation. What Peter experienced in the boat. Come Judgment Day, it won't be a mountain I'm looking at. That we're looking at. It will be God. It will be a throne so big it makes all the humans in history as if they're not even there. The trauma of holiness, as Sproul titled the chapter. Something to think about while I was on my trip here in West Virginia. Take care.